Hi, Hooriya.
Hello,
How are you doing today?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good too, thank you. Thank you for taking the time to come talk with me today. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Did you have a good, or did you have an okay time finding us? Because I know that it can be a little tricky to find our location in the
Yeah,
university.
it was a little bit of a windy road here, but I was able to find it just fine, so that was okay.
Yeah,
Thank you for asking.
a little bit of a Hogwarts situation,
Yep,
right?
for sure.
Except for we don't have the staircases that move.
Exactly.
So
That's
that's
the only difference.
a
Yep.
little more convenient, right?
Yep.
Okay, so why don't you start with just sharing a little bit about why you reached out to come here today?
So I essentially have been going through a couple different things, and I believe it was my doctor who kind of referred me over here.
Yep,
And
we have an integrated family health team, so we find at Western that working with an interdisciplinary frame works really well for people.
yeah, so I think it was like following my diagnosis, like a while back that I kind of got into the system here at Western with the doctors and everything. And like since then, like I have graduated, but like my care is still carrying over since then. But yeah, like I've just been kind of feeling a little bit alone and like feeling like I don't really have anybody to talk to. So that's just kind of where I'm at right now.
Right, that makes a lot of sense. Now you said you graduated, Rhea. What program did you graduate from?
I did communications. So
Oh, okay.
yeah.
And how did you find the program when you were here?
It was a good program. I enjoyed my time. Like although like now I'm not really working in my field. I'm not really like I don't have a job lined up after I've graduated. But yeah, it was a nice program and I enjoyed it while I was there.
Yeah, and I think that sometimes it's important to recognize transitions that we go through and that people, I think there's almost this embedded expectation with students that it will just be a seamless journey and transition, right? That you'll graduate, just get a job, that it might be easy.
Mhm.
But how have you been finding that transition out of school?
It's been a little bit interesting. Like I did like have the same expectation that you mentioned that like, I would end up like finding a job in my field and then I would probably like move out of like my parents' house and like I
Sure.
would like move on and transition to the next like step in my life. But I just feel like
Mhm.
I'm just stuck in the same place that I was in the beginning. Like I feel like I'm not making as much progress as I should be. So that's been like pretty difficult for me, I want to say. Like I feel like I expect myself to be doing a lot better and a lot more right now, and I'm not. So
Right. And that makes a lot of sense. I think there are so many times that we put so much pressure on ourselves, right? And that can even come from outside influences,
Mhm.
maybe your family and your friends. You mentioned that you received a diagnosis when you were in school. Would you mind or be comfortable sharing a little bit more about that?
Yeah, so around like a little over 2 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and that was like a really difficult thing to be dealing with as a student and like still be in
Mm,
school and like managing everything else in between. So thankfully, like now I'm in remission, and it's kind of like something that I'm trying to work through more like mentally than anything else. Just because like physically I am feeling a lot better than I was previously, but that was a really hard part of my life for sure.
right. And now, what was the process of getting diagnosed? How did you know that that was something that you wanted to pursue, and how did they end up finding that you did have cancer?
Well, I was just feeling sick. Like
Mm,
I had lost like a lot of weight. And so like I just started getting a little bit concerned. In the beginning, I thought that like obviously like I was in school full time. So like my mind immediately went to the fact that like I'm probably just stressed out. I'm like studying and there's like so many different things on my mind right now. So that's probably what it was coming from. But then like I realized after like other people started pointing it out to me a lot more that this
Mm-hmm.
is probably something I need to like get checked out for. And so I went to the doctor and they ran like many, many, many tests on me. And they unfortunately ended up diagnosing me. So yeah.
Right. So I can imagine that that was pretty time consuming for you,
Yeah.
juggling multiple demands.
Yeah, it was. There was a lot going on at that time. So
Yeah, and at that time, Maria, what did you find that your support system looked like?
um I think I had like I had my partner who like I'm still with right now. And
Mm-hmm.
I had like my sister and my mom, like my family around me. So that was always like a great like support for me. And then additionally, like my friends are like I have the best friends ever. So that was those were all things that like I felt like I could really lean into. But something like that, I feel like you kind of just even if you have like all the supports around you, a lot of the time like you still feel really alone because nobody else is really going through the pain with you. Like nobody's feeling the same way that you are. Um, and I don't know, I don't know, it just can be really difficult to like to have somebody around you even when you're going through something like that
Yeah,
to feel the pain the same way.
yeah.
So I still felt really alone.
It's that empathy piece, right? It's really, you can have very supportive people in your life, but it's not the same as someone going through your same experience, right? They're
Mhm.
not maybe getting the same treatments you were going through, right? Or
Mhm.
having to prioritize and balance, right? And think about those things,
Mhm.
right? School is hard work, and a lot of people don't understand the depth of that,
Mhm.
right? So, what if you're looking back just a couple years ago, is there anything that you would think about that you wish you had support at that time and even carrying it into now?
Honestly, like that time of my life is just such a blur. Like I feel like there's not what I can remember just wasn't too great and anything that like anything else I feel like I just kind of don't remember. Like I just remember it being
Hmm.
really stressful. I remember having a lot of schoolwork to do. Um I remember everybody just being really worried about me and like wanting me to be better and
Right, to be healthy.
yeah, like I just felt like there was just a lot going on. So
Right. I know you mentioned your partner. How are things with them?
he actually just moved to the States. And like I'm
Okay.
obviously still here. So that's been like a very big adjustment in our lives.
Right. Because what would be the biggest thing that you're adjusting to?
Well, like we obviously got to like see each other all the time and it's a lot more, I think like just for me, the person that I am, like it's a lot easier to be in a relationship that's not long distance because I feel like you have to tend to it in a different way when you are kind of in a long distance relationship. But like that being said, like we've like established it very well that we're both like really dedicated to seeing this through and like
Mhm.
regardless, we're definitely gonna make sure that like we take the time to visit each other and that he comes here and I go there and all of everything that needs to be done to keep this relationship where it's at. So, but it's definitely again been like an additional like stressful piece.
Absolutely. That makes a lot of sense. And what you're saying is just being able to have this closeness and even physical proximity and geographical proximity, it makes things carry a little more ease, right? Because you can get into your own routines and own ways of doing things and living, right? So, um, I can imagine that's a great stressor.
Yeah, and it's also like I like can't just like pick up the phone and call him and tell him to come over, right? Like if I'm having a bad day or like
Hmm.
and he's also like he just moved there for school. I mean
Hmm.
for work, sorry. After he finished school. So like I feel like he's also moving on to like the next chapter of his life and I'm just here like by myself and
Right,
not moving on. I'm just stuck exactly where I was.
right. And what was your conversation like before he moved? Did you guys have maybe some shared goals or things that you both want for the future that you're kind of working towards even in a long distance relationship?
Like his career has always been a really big priority for him.
Mm-hmm.
So like that's always been like one of the big like centerpieces in our relationship is like seeing what like he can do to like make himself or establish himself better. Again, like with this move that comes with that.
Mm-hmm.
And then besides that, like we've just like we just have that like loyalty aspect, I guess I'd say. Like I know that I'm loyal to him and he knows that he's loyal to me. So like we've established all of like the moral aspects of being together still.
Right.
And like calling every day, making sure we're checking up on each other, like those things that are really important as a part of a relationship. So
Mm-hmm.
those are kind of like some of the frameworks that we had when we were like deciding that this is something we're still going to stick with.
Right. So it sounds like you have an incredibly positive communication component to your relationship and that you really care about each other.
Hmm.
Hmm. And now, do you find that he is supportive of your work?
Yeah, like he also kind of tells me all the time that like I've graduated now, so I should probably be like doing something within my field.
Hmm.
Like I obviously spent so much time and energy, like regardless of like having my diagnosis of like making sure that I put myself through school and I finished with my degree. So
Right.
he and like he's also very like career driven.
Hmm.
So like considering he's willing to like get up and move across like across the continent basically
Right.
to go
Continental borders.
exactly. To go and like have a job elsewhere is like that same kind of mindset is what he applies to me as well. And he always encourages me to like um seek out opportunities and like figure out what I want to do
Hmm.
in my own career path, but I'm still
Right.
stuck working that same retail job.
Right. And now, is that something that you would want to work on together in our sessions together?
Yeah, like I just don't know what I would do to like kind of get past it. I just feel like I'm just at like a point where everything around me is moving and I just don't really know how to like keep up with it. So I don't really know
Hmm.
what anyone else can even do to help me with that. So
Right. So, and that might be a good source or a topic of conversation and maybe connecting you with some resources around that. I know that at Western we also have career counselors too, and they are available for alumni. So working in the interdisciplinary space, I think that if that's something you want to explore, that we could talk about that further.
yeah, like I'm open to any support that I can get to kind of figure it out if it'll work. But
Definitely. And I think that sometimes it does take time. And again, it's kind of sorting things out for you personally and just having that orientation towards your goals and honoring what is best for you as well.
mhm.
Yeah, so what what are your thoughts about joining your partner where he lives or closer to him? Is that something that you would consider?
Um, I don't know. Like I feel like everything that I know is like it's here, right? Like,
Right.
it's here in London. Like I grew up here, I was born here, like
Hmm.
my family's here and like even though it's not like a job in my field, I'm still working here.
Hmm.
And like all my support systems, like my family and like my friends, everything, my community is here.
Excuse me. Hmm.
And so all of that, like it makes it really difficult for me to just want to like get up and leave and go with him. Like obviously he's like a really big priority in my life too, but I know that like this might just be the next step in his career and he might end up coming back here after. So I don't want to just like uproot myself entirely and follow him in that sense. Because I want to make sure that I know what I want to.
Right. And is that something else that you would be open to talking about in our time together? Kind of exploring maybe a job option that is feeling or maybe would feel more fulfilling to you?
Yeah, like I think that's kind of like why I probably got sent here as well is to kind of see like what I don't know, I guess that's my understanding at least of what I'm here for is like to kind of have more of a concrete idea of what it is that I want in my life.
Yes, and that can totally be applied to so many areas of our life, right? Just personally, definitely in our career, and it sounds like you're very committed to your place of work right now. You've been there for many years, and so it's, do you think that where you work right now, there's a level of comfort in that?
Yeah, like I've been working here um since I started in like university basically. So like
Yes.
all throughout my university and like I've graduated and I'm still working here and like I've obviously like worked my way up in like
Mm-hmm.
the retail world as well. So like I
Right.
think that I don't know, it's a comfortable place for me to be in.
Right. And how are you interested? Are you still are you still interested in working where you are presently, or would you be interested in working in a different kind of job in communications?
Yeah, like I want to, but I know that that's also like really like unfamiliar to me.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I'm just comfortable right now and
Mm-hmm.
like I kind of like that.
Right. And I think that comfort is comfortable because it's comfortable, right? We just get in routines and habits and things we know,
Hmm.
and that it's not making a change and a leap can be scary, right? I think that that would be a really interesting thing to continue in our conversation is that what are those kind of things that you feel comfortable with in your job right now and even your routines like how are you feeling right now in terms of your physical health and mental health?
Um, like not the best for sure. Like I've obviously like I mentioned, like having like a cancer diagnosis that obviously
Mm-hmm.
comes with like a very wonky like mental health too. Like it's always up and down. And I think like I'm
Right.
definitely in like one of those down moments.
Right.
Like I don't think I'm doing as well as I could be.
Mm-hmm.
Like my I don't know, like I'm just not like mentally as present and as many conversations as like I'm having with people around me, like my friends or whatever. Like I tend to zone out a little bit. It's
Right.
really hard for me to like, even when I do have a plan that I've made with friends, it's really hard for me to kind of like be like, okay, I need to actually get out of my bed and like get up, get ready, and
Yeah.
like go and like be present in those settings. The only thing that I'm like kind of just dedicated to because like obviously like work is one of those things where like you kind of need an income to kind of be like sustaining yourself. So that's one of the only things that I'm able to really push myself to do. But otherwise, it's been really hard for me to kind of navigate everything else.
Right. And I think that what you're saying is you definitely feel like you're in a bit of a lower point right now. And I think that really I just want to say it was great of you to come in today because I think that we can reach these points in our life where it's scary to do the first thing, which is reach out and ask for help, right? And I think that sometimes we can have this idea that we're not doing enough or we're not doing well, but I think that kind of maybe trying or exploring maybe what has worked in past times that you felt like this could be really healthy. And I think that we're often not totally aware of our own resilience and our own strength, right? So, um, if you're open to that, I think that would be a really great thing to talk about and to kind of go into exploration a little further.
Yeah.
And I think that it can kind of, it loops us back around with ourselves, right? We can kind of garner this greater awareness of what kind of what's going on, what we want, maybe like small things that we can do, because I think that is also one of the parts of my role here at the university as a social worker is exploring what people are already doing and
Mhm.
what has worked in the past, right? And I think there's definitely a proclivity to just recommend a lot of things and you can get excited and you want to help people, but it's just, I could say, okay, Hooriya, you need to go home and do 7 things a night. Well, oh my goodness gracious. What if we don't have time for 2 things?
Mhm.
Right? That I think kind of integrating that the gradual the building blocks, right?
Mhm.
And something that feels or something that could feel meaningful to you personally,
Yeah.
right?
Like I think I also just want to like even just through having this conversation, one of the things that's kind of coming to my mind is like I do need to give myself grace, like even
Mm-hmm.
just like talking to you right now, I'm realizing that I have been through a lot and like it takes time to kind of be able to get over those things, like I'm as much as like I don't know, my sister just moved out and like she's not living here and she's moving on to the next step of her life, or like my like fiance, like he's not like here anymore either and he's moving on to the next step of like his life as well. Everybody's kind of like moving on to that next step, and like I guess I'm just kind of feeling like I'm not moving on to that next step, but yeah, like I just need to give myself a little bit more grace, I guess.
And I love that you said that. I think like already that signals to me that you are on the right track and you have something really great within yourself. And I'm just excited to learn more about that and to just see what could work for you and just um, because I think different things do work for different people,
Hmm.
right? So I think we touched on a lot of really good things. Is there anything else that you could think of that you might want to work on or talk about or kind of explore as we have these sessions?
Um, I don't know. I think I just like want to work towards finding myself a little bit more. Like, it's really hard when you're talking to people to like tell them that like, oh yeah, like I don't know, I'm only like 25 years old and I've already been diagnosed with like cancer and like I'm currently in remission and whatever. Like, I feel like when you say all those things to people, then it just kind of like minimizes the fact that you're like this whole entire human being, like aside from your diagnosis. And so like I think I want to just really work on like finding myself again because I'm not just that diagnosis and I'm not just the things that like people like know about me the first time that they hear about me, you know what I mean? So
Totally.
yeah.
And so what I'm hearing there is that people can kind of affix this label onto you. And with that label can come some assumptions, right? And you want to not only just feel like you want to take the next step or and like feel a little better, but you want to be seen. And I think that's really beautiful. I think that that's absolutely one of our core needs as a human being. But I think that going through cancer and getting a diagnosis is a massive life situation, right? And that you've come out of that, and even in remission, it's still work. And I imagine, right, still needing to be careful.
Hmm.
Yes. And so just that's such a big part of something that a lot of people can't relate to. And I think that your attitude toward like working in your field and connecting with other people, it just seems very positive. And I think that's really a great outlook to have. And I think that that can be such a good springing off board, right?
Hmm.
Because oftentimes I think in life when we are feeling a little bit down, that we can kind of remember things that we've done in the past or experiences that we've had, and that can use we can use that to propel us forward.
Hmm.
Yeah. So, Hooriya, is there anything else that you want to share with me today?
Um, I think like, yeah, it's just like finding myself again, like I mentioned already, like that's probably the biggest thing. Like I don't know what it is that like I could
Hmm.
even do towards um like working towards those things. I guess that's why I'm here to kind of see like have somebody that's able to kind of like tell me or like see me for all the parts that I am aside from like all the things that everybody else sees me as.
Totally.
And like even my family, like sometimes I feel like I get like caught in the same loop of like they know that they have to be like taking care of me. So
Right.
they like don't really like let me have that like degree of um like I don't know, like autonomy over my own life, like making decisions for myself and like deciding that I want to move away or like all of those things. I feel like I'm oftentimes like held back a little bit more.
Right.
Um so like I don't know, having somebody like in my support circle who
Hmm.
I can talk to and who sees me for all of the things that are kind of outside of what everyone else has seen me over the past 2 years, because obviously you just met me. So like you're
Right.
as much as you know everything that's on paper, like you're
Hmm.
meeting the person who is here now after everything. So like I want to like be more comfortable in knowing myself now,
Hmm.
aside from everything else that's happened.
Right. And so what I think you're saying, and I would love your feedback, is that you are interested in connecting with different parts of your identity and the person that makes up the parts of who you are.
Hmm.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I'm really excited to be able to work together. I think that we can absolutely continue, and I'm excited to be able to talk about the lots of different things that are happening in your life. I think that um, there's a lot of good things that we all have to look forward to in our life, right? And I think that definitely you made a fantastic decision with connecting with support. So is that something that you would be interested in continuing
Yeah.
talking together?
Yeah, I definitely would be. I think this is definitely like the right step for me to kind of like maybe like go a little bit outside of my comfort zone as well. And
Hmm.
like I don't know, just again like you said, like find myself in all the different identities that make up who I am. So
Totally.
yeah, I definitely would be interested in continuing.
That would be great. So that being said, and moving forward, I'll just let you know that we have about 8 to 12 sessions to work together. We have great community resources, and I can refer you if that's needed. And so um, we can make another appointment to talk.
Sure.
And if anything comes up in in our conversation that is a specific resource or referral that you would like, that we can totally address that and talk about that, and I would be happy to assist you with that. Um,
Perfect.
I also forgot to mention at the beginning, we have a confidentiality, so there's a few pieces around that everything we talk about is confidential. Um, but there are a couple pieces if I find out you have ideas of harming yourself or someone else, or a child or elderly person is in danger, then that information would not be kept confidential.
Okay.
And does that sound okay?
Yep, that sounds fine.
Okay. Well, thank you so much for coming today, Hooriya. I really appreciate it.
Of course. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. End meeting?
I think so.